Okay. If you could just say like your name and what you're currently studying or did study.
So my name is Frank Furtado, and I was studying PR. I still am studying PR. I'm going into my last year. And when I went abroad, I was in my second year here, but it was my third year there.
Right. And which school is it again?
That I'm studying in Toronto?
Yeah.
Humber College.
Humber College, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and you obviously attended RGU. Oh, you're cutting out. You still there? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so why did you choose to study abroad rather than just staying for the full 4 years of university at your domestic university in Humber?
So they brought up they came around to our classes and introduced the idea to us. It wasn't that popular at the time. And then the year that they had introduced it to our year, it ended up having like the most applicants that like the school had ever had before.
Really?
And it was just, yeah, it was like apparently the year before like I had applied, there was maybe about 10 people who had applied and like all 10 people got to go.
Right.
And then the year that I had applied, it was like 30 people had applied.
Okay.
And like only maybe half were able to go because of like the whole selection process.
Right. So do you know if they changed?
And then so we got to, what?
Was there anything that made it more popular? Like did they change something about the process or the marketing materials given to the students or the...
I think it was just that like they were actually promoting it a little more than they were the years before.
Okay, in what sense were they promoting? Like how were they promoting it?
So they were going around to classes, like the people who were actually in charge of like mobility and international students, and like doing presentations to the class and bringing in students who had done presentations or who had gone abroad.
Yeah. Okay, you cut out there for a second, but we're back on. You were just talking about how they brought people in from who previously studied and they were using different promotional tactics.
Yeah, so they were bringing in students that could actually relate and talk about their experience when they went abroad. So it just made it a little more personal coming from a student and getting to hear that like, oh yeah, this 20-something-year-old kid did it and they had a good time or they got something out of it.
Right.
Instead of hearing like just an international teacher or an international whatever person talking about it.
What were your key motivations for initially going to college, university, and getting a degree? Just domestically, just in general?
So I had already gotten a diploma in radio, and I wanted something that would help me. I wanted a bachelor's degree, so that's why I ended up going back and going for PR. And because it was kind of already similar to what I was doing in terms of media and promotion, I thought PR would be a great way to learn about how to like build a business, build a brand, so that if I did ever decide to make something of my own, then I'd be able to market and create a community around it.
For sure. What made you choose Humber over other options of colleges and universities?
So because I had already gone to Humber for radio broadcasting, I was able to transfer over that I already had at Humber over to this program like pretty seamlessly. So that's why it was kind of an advantage. And Humber has like one of the best programs for PR in Toronto. So
oh wow,
it was just kind of like
makes sense,
no-brainer.
If you could transfer the credits internationally, would you have considered studying abroad rather than domestically?
You cut out for like a second. Say it one more time.
If you could have seamlessly transferred your credits abroad, would you have considered studying internationally over domestically?
Like for my entire program?
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like it'd be really expensive.
Right.
For somebody who like maybe can't afford the full 4 years, then like I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I feel like because I have everything here too, it's like my friends and my family are all here, so that's why.
Right.
It just makes more sense to stick where you're from.
Mm-hmm. what was the general consensus of studying at RGU from people who came, not about yourself, as well as other people who came to RGU in your friend group? Because I know a lot of you guys came from Humber.
Yeah, there's like 5 of us who had come from Humber, and we were all from, I think, like 2, maybe 3 different programs.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think we never really like met up again to talk about our experiences. Like,
right.
I'm still friends with them, and
Oh, you're cutting out.
Like, say
Repeat that one more time. You're cutting out.
hi to them whenever I see them. From it with, can you hear me?
Yeah, repeat that. You said you're still friends with all of them. But...
Yeah, we're still all friends with each other, and like we'll say hi to each other in the hall or like talk for a bit. But yeah, we all ended up coming away with like friends that now we have internationally, kind of thing. Right. But in terms of schooling, like I don't know if there's anything that like maybe we took away that we wouldn't have gotten back home. It was just more of the experience of getting to do it somewhere else, and like breaking the routine of just staying domestically at home and, you know, being somewhere new while also going to school.
Sure. If you had any thing you would have changed about what you did when you came here, what would it be? If there is anything.
I feel like I wish I would have did more. Like I feel like we did a lot, but I feel like I wish I just would have did more.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like that's how anybody's gonna be with anything, kind of thing. You're always gonna wish that like you probably did like more.
For sure.
So
do you have any criticisms about your stay at RGU, or was everything good?
Everything was pretty good. I feel like staying at Woolman Hill was like the best thing I could have done.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I showed up to class pretty much only if I needed to.
Sure.
Which wasn't that often, and because all the assignments are like 100%, or like all your coursework is like 100% at the end of the semester, is like my last 3 weeks is when I pretty much just did everything.
Right.
And like read all the PowerPoint slides instead of showing up to classes.
When considering to study internationally or to do what you did, what information would be important to know previous to the student actually applying, enrolling, and actually going to, like, taking that flight? You know what I mean? Like, what's the key information that students need?
Yeah. I'd probably say the intensity of the schoolwork is probably like one of the biggest ones, because when you're going abroad, you don't want to go abroad and then like you can't do anything because the workload is so intensive. So I'd probably say that. So the way it was at Humber was when we went abroad, we didn't have to do well. We essentially just had to pass, and the mark wouldn't show up on our transcript. It would just say like satisfactory.
Right.
So as long as we passed, then like that's all we needed to do.
Did you know this before coming to RGU?
Yeah, we knew that beforehand, before going. They didn't warn us though that like a pass at RGU is a 40. And they do mark harder at RGU, it seems, than like they where we are. So that's why like 40, or not 40s, but like 50s and 60s, and so like they were just concerned like what happened? Why was everybody doing terrible? And it's not that we were doing terrible. It's just that's just kind of like what the norm is over there. Yeah, like nobody gets an A over there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Is there anything else you can think of that you weren't informed that you wish you knew before coming? It doesn't have to be university specific too. It could be anything about the.
I feel like you experience in general.
It could be university.
I don't know. I feel like because it is like a learning experience. It's kind of like whatever ends up happening. It's kind of you have to figure it out on your own or to deal with it. For me, there wasn't anything that like I felt like, oh shit, they should have warned me about it. Like I feel like everybody was saying that it was going to rain a lot in Scotland, and then it didn't end up like raining as much as people had warned you about.
Yeah.
Maybe how expensive things would have been. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the pound is obviously different from the Canadian dollar, right? So
Yeah, of course.
but even then, that's something that
Right.
Like you just learn when you get there.
Yeah. What do you think it makes a university appealing to students?
What?
What are the main factors that make a university appealing to students?
Probably the quality of education, I guess, and like the profs, the programs themselves, just the even the sort of looking for, like what people say about the school.
Right, like the reviews.
And what's that word?
Review?
Yeah, reviews, the reputation, pretty much. Of like,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that students that study internationally get more value in their education?
I think so. I feel like it's kind of like a juggling act. So when you end up going abroad and also going to school at the same time, you've really got to like learn to make, because now you're on your own. So like now you've got to grocery shop for yourself. You got to cook every meal for yourself. You've got to clean up after yourself, clean up your room, while also making sure you're waking up to go to class and like passing shit. Because if you don't, then you essentially just wasted your time there, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but like, didn't he?
Pardon?
He made it through, right?
Who, Liam?
Liam, like the year that he stayed with us, didn't he?
He made it through.
Like passing everything.
Yep.
Okay, because I feel like he was failing like at the midterm or something at that point.
Probably.
Or he was missing so many classes or something like that.
Yeah. Apart from education, do you feel that students that study internationally get more value at their overall experience at university?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just kind of, again, that like new environment, that change of pace, that change of environment. It all kind of helps towards building yourself and building character.
For sure. Personal development, I guess. Did anything catch you by surprise when you moved to the UK? In terms of cultural differences, or just anything?
I don't think it was too shocking. Like, because English is still like the language. Like it wasn't anything too shocking. The only thing like I would say is like the food was like bland as shit.
Okay, yeah.
Like the only flavor they've got there is curry. Like that's the only thing that they think is like flavorful. And then everybody thinks that like Aberdeen is this like massive town that they're gonna be like Aberqueens and shit. But it's like if you're coming from Toronto and like you're going to Aberdeen, it's just like it's going from like this mega city to like this gray brick town. But
did you worry about anything before moving to Scotland? And if so, what were you kind of worried about?
I was worried about having shitty roommates because like you just never know. You're gonna have to live with these people for like 7 months, right?
Yeah.
And then when you have shitty roommates, it's like it ruins the whole experience.
Yeah.
There's a guy who he just went abroad last semester to Japan, and he just came back. But apparently he had like shitty roommates. Like he wasn't into any of the girls there. Like wasn't into any Asian girls at all. And just his experience it just sounds like he had such a shock. I feel so bad for him because
it's too bad.
Like, and also the language barrier too. So
yeah. Oh yeah, the language barrier. Did you experience any isolation or loneliness related to your international relocation?
I don't think so. Like I feel like had I not had you there, like another Canadian there, I feel like it probably would have been like a lot lonelier.
Yeah.
But then again, like Jesus ended up making like friends with like a bunch of Spanish people and like other people at the school. Right. So like there are those resources there to make friends and like join clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like definitely the like a good roommate experience is like probably top notch. Right. What was the question again?
I asked if you had experienced any isolation or loneliness while
yeah, that's right. I don't know, occasionally. Like, I feel like, yeah, eventually there were just times where it's like, there wasn't really much to do. It was just like a weekday. And then it's like, what are you going to do? Just go shopping, go to the gym. So
Watch
I feel
the
like
chase.
we made the most of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay,
Fat
unrelated.
chicks back from Tinder.
I'll probably cut that out of my research. Or maybe I won't. Why'd you move here? Brought a bunch of fat chicks back from Tinder. While I had a girlfriend.
Oh my god. We'd lie to her and
unrelated.
tell her that we were going to a casino to get her out.
It was like 5 minutes after she came to. How many hours a day would you say that you spend on social media
Now? Oh, fuck.
as a student? Or, yeah, sure, both as a student and now.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm on it like every other hour. I don't like honestly, like maybe 4 or 5 hours a day.
Okay, fair enough.
But like, if we combine the time, I don't know, maybe yeah, like 3 or 4 hours. Does
Okay.
YouTube count?
I mean, it's your job, so I'll cut it out.
Because
Well-
I feel like I watch YouTube videos like
That counts,
all
yeah.
the time. So there you go. So 4 or 5 hours, probably.
Okay. What sort of marketing material do you find most effective for yourself?
I'd probably say on social. Like at this point, I don't pick up anything that's print really,
Right.
or at least I don't hold on to anything that's print. It's gotta be like digital. It's gotta like come to me kind of thing.
Right.
Just-
Sorry, there's a million flies in here for some reason. If you could go back, would you make the same decision? To
like to go abroad.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't change the experience. Like going and experiencing like a new place, just being an idiot somewhere else was fun.
Yeah.
And then yeah, getting even to travel to like other parts of Europe like during the break was like
That was
nice.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I was like had the fucking fever of like 103 the entire 2 weeks. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was bad. If you could go back in time and tell yourself 3 things to be aware of before moving to Scotland, what would they be?
Ooh. Don't go with a girlfriend. Don't go in a relationship.
Okay.
Probably number 1.
Yeah.
Go in. I don't know. What would I have told myself?
Even just like things to note about like when you get there.
Just do more because the time like really kind of flies by. Because I feel like by the time I came back and then I was back here again for like 4 or 5 months, I was like, holy shit, I've already been back longer than I've been gone.
I know, right?
Like it almost felt like I wasn't even there. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even feel like I was there. So yeah, I'd say just make as many memories as you can, make as many friends as you can, do as much as you can, go to as many places as you can, and just do a lot of just do a lot.
Cool. All right, I think that's everything. Actually, I have one more thing. Do you have international
Sure.
students in your class? Or have you been?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're like an international student. Like, there's somebody who like moved from Mexico. Here,
Okay, yeah, so no.
But like, they're not somebody who's like on exchange.
Yeah. Okay. All right, no worries.
Um,
All right, I think that wraps up the.
Okay.
I think that wraps up the interview, bud. Thanks for the
all right,
time.
good. Yeah, no problem.